Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Maths Fun Learning. I am your math teacher Rashi. In this video we are going to learn about squares. Squares? Yes, but this is not a shape square. Here we are going to learn about squares of a number, or this is also called a perfect square. What is that perfect square? Do you remember your tables? Everyone knows tables of 1, table of 2. So there you notice something. The one number, like it is, if it is a table of 2, do you remember the 2 is multiplied 2 times? Isn't it? I will show you somewhere. So you can see in the table of 1, 1 is multiplied 2 times, and in the table of 2, 2 is multiplied 2 times. So these are called a square numbers. Look, I write here till 1 to 10 all the squares. You can see 3 times 3. Yes, it is a 9. So you can learn this in a table of 3. As like that only, you learn this 4 times 4 in the table of 4. And 5 times 5 in the table of 5. 6 times 6 in the table of 6, and 7 times 7 in the table of 7, 8 times 8 in the table of 8, 9 times 9 in the table of 9, and 10 times 10 in the table of 10. Yes, these are called a perfect squares number or a perfect squares. Here you can see the answer. If you multiply 10 times 10, you will get a 100. 2 times 2, you will get a 4. So these are called a perfect squares. Okay, so let's see what is the definition of this perfect square. When the exponent of a natural number is 2. Exponent, what is that? Oh, don't worry about this. You already learned exponent in my previous videos. If you're not, you just go to my that video exponent and learn about the exponent. I will send you details in my description box. So when the exponent of a natural number is 2, the number obtained is called a perfect square. Here you can see every digit, that 1 to 10, every digit is multiplied 2 times. The same digit is multiplied 2 times. And we have to write, we can write these numbers in a small and beautiful way. So 1 is raised to the power 2. That 2 is called an exponent. So every digit has an exponent is 2. 2 has a 2. 2 is raised to the power 2. We can read like this. 3 is raised to the power 2. So 2 is the exponent here and 3 is the base. 4 is raised to the power 2. 5 is raised to the power 2. So why we use here 2? If you can come and see, you can notice here the 5 is multiplied 2 times. So it is multiplied 2 times. That's why 5 we took a base, and how many times it multiplied? 2. Then we just write that 2 on the right hand upside. So that is called a power of 2. 6 is raised to the power 2. 7 is raised to the power 2. 8 is raised to the power 2. 9 is raised to the power 2. 10 is raised to the power 2. So here you can see these are the natural numbers, and natural number has an exponent, that is a 2, n multiply n. Now the question will come in your mind, why we call it these numbers as a perfect square. So you want to know about this, why these numbers or the rest numbers, why the number is multiplied itself and it is called a perfect square. To find out this, let's do one activity. Okay. For that activity, you need a sheet of a paper which has a squares in shape. or you can take a math notebook sheet also, and some different color pencils and one scale. That's it. So go and get ready. So here is my sheet and everything is ready. So I hope you are also ready to do activity. Yes. First, what we will do, we'll take of number 1. Okay, before going to start that, here you can see it is a cube, and this is my favorite rubric cube. Why I kept it here? I want to show you that this is a perfect square. You can see there are 3 times 3. 3 times 3. There are 3 rows. 1, 2, 3 rows. And there are 3 columns. 1, 2, 3. If we multiply 3 times 3, you will get a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see there are 9 squares are there. And when you can see the outer layer, you can closely watch that it makes a proper square shape. That's why it is called a perfect square. Okay, let's do an activity for this to find out this. Number 1, what I will do, I will tell you the rows and the column. Okay, the number which is multiply 1 times 1. The first number is your row and the second is your column. Right? So here row means the horizontal lines and the column means the vertical line. Let's see. Let's make a first one, 1 time 1. So we'll take a 1 row. This is row 1. You can see this is 1 and column 1. So 1 time 1 gives you a 1 square. You can draw with the help of the scale also. So what I will do, I'll just color it so that it is visible properly. You can see if I multiply 1 time 1, you can see 1 column and 1 row gives you 1. And when I draw a outline of this, you can find that it is a perfect square. That's why these are called a perfect squares. Now let's take a 2 times 2. There are 2 rows. There are 2 rows. 1 row, 2 row. 1, 1 and 2 rows, right? And there are 2 columns. There's 1 column, 2 column. 1 and 2. 2 columns, 1 and 2. If I'll draw a outline of this, you can see in 1 row there are 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you can find there are total 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blocks are there. So let me color these, and the color will define this one as a perfect square. Right? Now 2 times 2 gives you a 4. Let's take a 3 times 3, which is here also in your rubric cube. 3 times 3, the row 1, row 2 and row 3. Column 1, column 2 and column 3. Now if I'll cover this with, you can see perfect square. Oh, that means I have to draw with the help of a scale. So it is clear to you? Sorry. Now, in 1 row there are 3 squares, and in columns also there are 3 squares. So when you join or when you count the outline of this, the boundary of this, you can check that this is a perfect square. And how many blocks are there? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. 3 times 3 gives you a 9. Look. Yes. Now let's come to the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Why I choose this math notebook? To explain you, it is quite easy because all squares shape is equal in size and it is quite easy to give you a shape. Look, isn't it beautiful? Yes, and little creative also. Now you can find the outer boundary. You can see it is also a perfect square, which I am going to color with my color pencil. 4 times 4 gives you a 16, and if you count all the number of the squares, you can see there are 16. Yes, look. Yes, it is clear. Well done. Now let's make a 5 times 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let me draw with the help of a pencil. Fatafat, yes. There are 5 columns. Columns are vertical and there are 5 rows and that are horizontal. You can find 5 times 5 gives you a 25, and if you can see here 5 times 5 perfectly gives you a 25, and this is a perfect square to you. Look. Yes, the boundary gives you a perfect square. So that's why these are called a perfect square. I hope kids it is clear to you and it's quite interesting activity to solve it. Now let's do a 6 times 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 columns and columns are vertical lines and 6 rows. 6 rows are horizontal line. So you have to draw it and then see the boundary of this squares. You can find the perfect square. That's why we call it a perfect squares. Now I hope it is clear to you, and let me color this also so that it is quite visible and understand. Isn't it? This activity is very interesting for you and you are able to understand what is the perfect square. I hope yes. I also enjoy to do these activities with you all. Look. Yet it gives you a perfect square. So kids, now rest of the squares you have to draw it and send me that pictures also. So these are the perfect squares. So kids, I hope you really enjoy these activities and you really understand what is the perfect square. So if you enjoy it, please share my video and like it also, and subscribe my channel and click on the bell button. Thank you.